Emmerdale tease that Charity Dingle stands at the edge of a decision, so vast it seems to crack the very foundations of her heart. Dawn's pale light filters through the gauzy curtains of Home Farm's master bedroom, painting Mack's sleeping form in muted gold. Charity's gaze drifts from his relaxed profile to the unopened letter clutched in her hand, Sarah's desperate plea, asking her to carry a child that Sarah cannot bear herself. Charity's chest tightens as memories flood in, the first time Sarah confided in her, voice quivering with fear and hope. She'd come to Home Farm late one night, breathless from racing across the village. In the quiet drawing room, she unfolded her story, her past traumas, her medical impossibilities, her yearning for motherhood that beat within her like a wounded bird. Charity had listened, heart aching, and offered comfort without promise. But Mack, steady, protective Mack, had warned her firmly, don't get involved. And yet, here she stands, torn between loyalty to the man she vowed to love and the bond she feels with the vulnerable woman pleading for a chance at happiness. The letter trembles in her hand. Sarah writes of ultrasounds lost to failed cycles, of doctors' shakes of the head, of nights spent clutching empty bedsheets. She writes of Charity's kindness, of the trusting friendship they once shared, and begs her to consider surrogacy. Charity's mind drifts further back, to happier times, laughter echoing through the mill cottage as she and Sarah bake scones, the way Sarah's eyes lit when she spoke of the future, and the shared secret of two women who believed in each other. Those memories sting with guilt now, guilt that she never told Mack the whole truth. He believes Sarah's debt is purely financial, he does not know the cost Sarah has paid with her body and soul. The morning hush is broken by Mack's soft snore. Charity folds the letter and tucks it into her apron pocket. She moves to the window, breathing in the chill air that carries the scent of damp earth and new beginnings. Across the courtyard, the mill wheel turns steadily, water glinting on its paddles, an unrelenting current, unstoppable. She wonders if her life flows as inexorably, pulled by hidden forces beyond her control. Her mobile vibrates on the bedside table. A message from Sarah, please let me know. I can't wait much longer. Charity's pulse races. If she refuses, Sarah's fragile hope will collapse. If she agrees, Mack's wrath could tear them both apart. A memory surfaces, the day Mack proposed beneath the old oak in the village green. Pride and love had shone in his eyes as he slipped the ring onto her finger. In that moment, she believed nothing could come between them. But time has a way of shifting the landscape of the heart, carving new paths where none existed before. She turns back to Mack, his hair mussed, his features softened by sleep. This is the man who rescued her from her darkest days, who stood by her when the world judged her. And yet, how can she deny Sarah the child she so desperately wants? How can she turn away from the chance to give life itself? Charity slips quietly from the room, the floorboards creaking under her weight. She tiptoes down the marble hallway, the sun now a soft glow through stained glass panels. In the corridor leading to the servants' quarters, she pauses by the portrait of Sarah's late husband, his stern gaze forever captured in oils. Charity's hand hovers over the frame. In life, he had shielded Sarah, in death, he cannot. Perhaps she can fill that void. At the bottom of the grand staircase, Charity finds Mack's study door ajar. Inside, the desk is strewn with ledgers and business letters. She closes the door gently behind her and lowers herself into Mack's leather chair. In the quiet scribe of her pen, she drafts a note, Mack. There is something you must know before the day unfolds. Words spill onto the page as she recounts Sarah's medical trials, the sterile clinics, the tears in sterile gowns. She explains Sarah's request, that Charity carry the child of Sarah and her late husband's memory, to give new life to the Dingle line they once cherished together. Charity's hand falters as she writes, I love you, but I cannot turn away from this. She folds the note and places it atop Mack's inkpot, where he cannot miss it. Heart pounding, she straightens and steels herself for what must come next. This choice will test every bond between Charity and Mack. It will spark gossip in the woolpack and strain friendships across the village. Yet she knows that turning her back on Sarah would haunt her forever. As she steps back into the corridor, she feels hollow and whole all at once, a paradox of fear and certainty. The mill wheel's creak drifts to her ears, a gentle reminder that life moves on, regardless of human indecision. Charity draws a deep breath and strides toward the kitchen, where breakfast preparations have already begun. Sarah will arrive soon to discuss plans. Mack will awaken to the bombshell waiting in his study. Charity braces herself for the turmoil to come. In the hush before the storm, she reminds herself, sometimes love demands sacrifice, and sometimes giving life is the greatest gift of all. And so the dawn finds Charity Dingle poised between two worlds, one of love and comfort with Mack, the other of compassion and hope for Sarah. The fragile strands of their fates intertwine in a tapestry yet to be woven. Emmerdale's fields lie silent beyond the farmhouse walls, but soon, echoes of heartbreak and redemption will resound through every cottage and barn. Charity felt the tension in the kitchen like a living thing. As the aroma of baking bread mingled with the soft clatter of early morning chores, she steeled herself for the conversations ahead. Sarah arrived, just as Charity finished loading a basket with linens and fresh towels for the mill cottage. In her eyes flickered a mixture of gratitude and fear. Neither spoke until Charity gently closed the door behind them. "I've spoken to a solicitor," Charity began, her voice low so that the maids in the courtyard wouldn't overhear. "We'll need formal agreements, medical waivers, financial arrangements, but I'll take care of it all. You must rest and eat, Sarah. You'll need every ounce of strength." Sarah nodded, her hands folded tightly in her lap. "Thank you. I can't believe you're doing this." Charity offered her a small smile. "Believe in yourself. I'll carry this child with every bit of love I have." Meanwhile, Mack found Charity's note on his desk. His heart pounded as he read the careful lines she had written. Emotions warred within him. Pride that Charity's compassion ran so deep, fear at the prospect of the turmoil ahead, and a rush of protectiveness toward both her and the unborn child she would carry. He went upstairs quietly, pausing outside Charity's room. Through the half-open door he saw her gone, only the bed's unruffled surface remained. He sank onto the edge, grappling with the enormity of her decision. The ledger on his desk called to him, figures and balances that once defined his world now seemed petty in comparison to the life blossoming beneath Charity's heart. Word of Charity's agreement spread through Emmerdale like wildfire. At the woolpack, gossip swirled. Some villagers praised her selflessness, others whispered that Mack's pride would never endure such a strain. Among them, Gabby Thomas exchanged worried glances. That afternoon, Charity drove Sarah in the Land Rover to the clinic in Derby. Sarah watched the passing fields, their green stretches a blur beneath a sky swollen with rain clouds. Charity kept a steady hand on the wheel, soft words of reassurance at every hesitation. At the clinic, Dr. Hughes, stern yet compassionate, outlined the protocol, hormone treatments, regular check-ups, and the emotional strains of surrogacy. Sarah's eyes watered, not from fear but from relief that each step brought her closer to motherhood. "You're both very brave," Dr. Hughes said to them as they left, handing Charity a pack of prescription forms. Outside, the first drops of rain fell, dotting the windshield like tears. Back in the village, Mack confronted Charity that evening beneath the grand oak. Lightning forked across the sky as he unfolded her note, voice tight with suppressed emotion. "You're giving away our future," he said, voice trembling. "A child I might never hold as my own." Charity reached for his hand. "This child is ours, too. We'll love it together." Thunder rolled overhead. Mack looked away, wrestling with pride and the open-hearted devotion in her eyes. Finally, he exhaled and drew her close. Then we face this storm, together. In the weeks that followed, Charity's body transformed. Each injection was a reminder of the life forming within her, and Sarah's gratitude deepened into an unbreakable bond. Charity kept a journal, Sarah's diary alongside her own, documenting every milestone, the faint flutter of the first heartbeat, the shape of an embryo on the ultrasound screen. At home, Mack built a nursery in the cottage's upper loft, painting walls the soft shade of meadow grass and assembling a cradle he had carved himself. Yet not all was peaceful. Joni Wright, upset by the extra expenses and whispers of scandal, petitioned the parish council to intervene. Liv and Gabby stood by Charity at the council meeting, debating fiercely until the village council ultimately sanctioned the arrangement, swayed by Charity's steadfast arguments and the tangible paperwork from the solicitor. Support rallied around them. Emmerdale's community, tested by floods and fires, now united in hope. Autumn approached, turning the fields to gold. Charity's belly swelled beneath her shawl, and Sarah's freckles shone brighter every time she smiled. They spent afternoons knitting tiny blankets by the hearth, talking about the baby's future. Sarah confided that she dreamed of teaching her child to read beneath that same oak where Mack had proposed. Charity promised they would make that dream real. Mack, at last fully invested, organized a celebration, a harvest feast at home farm, with tables laden with pies and cider pressed that very morning. As villagers gathered, Mack raised a toast, to new life, to Charity and Sarah, for showing us that family is not just blood, but love and sacrifice. Now, as winter's hush falls over the dale and snow threatens the soft earth, the final chapters approach. Charity prepares for the birth, her resolve unshakable. Sarah, growing more anxious by the day, finds comfort in Mack's quiet support and Charity's warm laughter. In the mill cottage, the nursery stands ready, blankets folded, mobile tinkling overhead. Soon, the village will awaken to the cry of a newborn, a testament to Charity's courage and Sarah's hope. Rumors already hint at how this child will reshape loyalties and heal old wounds. Gossip aside, Emmerdale's heart will beat stronger for it, a new family forged in compassion. And Mack, once proud and guarded, will discover that letting love lead is the only choice that truly matters. Charity will cradle life itself against her breast, Sarah will embrace motherhood in a way she never dared dream, and the village, tested again by sacrifice, will stand witness to the miracle they dared to create together.